Well, welcome. I'm Dr. J. Piamonte, and in this video, plantar fasciitis doesn't slide us. So in this video, I'm going to show you simple natural things that you can do to help plantar fasciitis and also help prevent it and decrease pain, increase your range of motion naturally. See, I've had this condition numerous times myself, being a distance runner and a competitive athlete, and I know that a lot of folks out there will commonly get plantar fasciitis, which is defined as pain in the arch, the bottom of the feet, and the bottom of the toes to the heel. You see, when you look at the anatomy, the plantar surface of the foot has many small muscles in it. And one of those muscles is called the flexor digitorum. It's a smaller one called flexor digitorum brevis that connects underneath the foot from the toes to the heel. Now, if you look at the anatomy, the continuation of this muscle goes right up the heel bone called the calcaneus, that goes right up that tendon up the calf muscles. Now, most people know that this tendon is called the Achilles tendon after the fateful Achilles hero was shot with an arrow guided by the god Apollo and Hera in that infamous Battle of Troy. Now, technically, this is actually called the calcaneal tendon. And many cases of plantar fasciitis are often associated with tendinitis in this calcaneal or Achilles tendon. So when we look at the anatomy of the plantar surface and the bottom of the foot, remember that your muscles and tendons connect into each other in a continuous train or chain of muscles. So if you follow the plantar surface of the foot, the muscle underneath connects from the toes into the heel, and then following up this calcaneal tendon through the muscles of the calves. This is your gastrocnemius and your soleus, which then connect up the hamstrings all the way up your lower back, even to the crown of your head. So anything that's going to help plantar fasciitis is going to also address the hamstrings, increasing flexibility in the calf muscles as well as the arch of the foot. So here are the top tips to help treat plantar fasciitis. Number one is using hot and cold. You want to use heat at the end of the day before you go to bed at night. Now, I recommend soaking your feet in hot water. You can simply get a basin of hot water at home and add in Epsom salts. Now, you want to make sure when you do an Epsom salts foot bath that the water is saturated. So you're going to keep adding salt into the water until you still see salt granules floating around. Now, please make sure you do not burn yourself. You want the water to be warm to hot, but still comfortable. So generally recommended, we want to be about body temperature, and that is about 98 to about 100 degrees. Now you want to use cold first thing in the morning, or if you're having acute inflammation. What are the signs of acute, meaning recent inflammation? Is that a flare-up has happened in the past 1 or 2 days. You're going to have heat and redness along with pain and a loss of function. Now, my favorite way to use cold therapy is first thing in the morning, use a simple water bottle. Now, I've kept this one in the freezer and it's thawed just a little bit, but it's still dense. Now, roll across the bottom of your foot from the base of your toes out towards your heel. And again, you want to find any areas of tenderness, especially in the arch, and hold right on it. Use gentle but steady pressure. You can even add a little bit of vibration, and that's it, back and forth. You want to do this for about 5 to 10 minutes until the tenderness begins to subside and you get relief by using the cold therapy of a frozen water bottle. Other top tips for treating and preventing plantar fasciitis is going to be using regular massage. Now, my favorite is using castor oil, especially before you go to sleep at night, working it well into not only the arch of your foot and the tender areas, but also around that Achilles calcaneal tendon, the heel, and up the calf muscles as well. And so first, working along the bottoms of the feet, along the arches, and then taking your fingers and your thumb to circle and find the most tender spots. You want to make sure that you work the oil around the base of the toes, your metatarsals. You can even work in between the toes, working out any tender areas with the combination of using circles and vibration. So holding on tender areas and vibrating with your fingers or even with your thumb for 8 to 10 seconds or even longer. and working out all the tender areas. Now you can also use pressure back towards the heel, working in strips from the base of the toes towards the heel. And also you want to make sure that you work the oil around the heels and certainly underneath the Achilles or calcaneal tendon under the bottoms of the heel. Now, one I like to do is taking my thumb or my fingers and doing little movements, almost like an inchworm, across the heel and across the arch of the foot. When you're doing this at home, take at least 5 to 10 minutes to effectively work all the areas of the bottom of the feet, focusing specifically on any areas of tightness and tenderness. To work the back of the calf, apply the oil up the calf muscles from the heel up towards the knee, and then starting just above the heel, place the leg on top of your opposite knee, and with good pressure, sliding the leg down from the heel towards the back of the knee, working in strips along the back of the calf muscle. Now here, once you find an area of tenderness, you can hold, add a little bit of vibration as you breathe in and out to the area, holding for about 10 to 12 seconds. And a trick of the trade is once you're on that tender spot, then begin to point your toes up and down, and this will help to activate and work out the calf muscles, and then repeat as necessary. Using these massage techniques are very effective, especially after exercise or after using a hot bath, a hot shower, or even a heating pad on the back of these areas. So working along the back of the calf muscles with good pressure from the opposite knee, from the heel towards the back of the knee, and then repeat on the other side. Finding the tender areas in those muscles, holds with a little bit of vibration, and then gently pointing the toes up and down to work those areas out of the calf muscles will take pressure off the Achilles, off the heel, connected to the bottom of the foot. You want to do massage therapy, especially if you're training, increasing your running, or if you're standing on hard surfaces. Now, according to research, having proper arch support is key to preventing plantar fasciitis. So if you're standing for long periods during the day, and especially on hard surfaces, it's really nice to have good arch support, so it could be wise to invest in proper orthotics or just having footwear with good arch support that's going to help give you the relief that you need. Another simple way you can support your feet naturally is around the home. So especially if you have hard floors or hard surfaces that you stand on, for example in the kitchen, a good investment is an ergonomic mat that you can stand on to have a soft surface when you're washing the dishes or cooking meals in the kitchen, or anytime you're walking around the home to have soft surfaces if the bottoms of your feet are tender or painful. Another thing you want to make sure of is that you're doing stretches every day. One of the key aspects of stretching is to first warm up or heat up the area. So stretching is most effective after soaking your feet and your legs in a hot water bath or using Epsom salt baths. Or after going for a long walk or any type of exercise, that's when you want to focus on your stretching. You can first do deep sustained stretching, that is, placing your foot on the edge of a curve or a slanted surface. Gradually breathe into the area and make sure you're holding at least 10 to 20 seconds or even longer, focusing on the tight areas, and as you exhale, gradually letting them soften and relax. Now, when you're doing regular stretching, you can either use static stretching or a version called PNF. PNF stretching stands for proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. This is when you take all the slack out of a muscle to its end range, apply gentle, steady contraction, and then as you exhale, relaxing and allowing the muscle to stretch gradually even deeper. For PNF stretching of the calf muscles through the heel and the arch of the foot, first you're going to take all the slack out of the muscle. Now you can use your hands or you can also use a rope or a firm surface. So first, gently take it to the end range, then take a deep breath in, and as you hold your breath at the top, gently press your foot into your hand, but try not to let it move. And hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, But as you exhale, relax the muscle and feel it gradually lengthen a little bit further. And repeat. Deep breath in. Hold your breath. Gently press your foot into your hand. You can also curl your toes slightly to activate the muscle underneath the foot. For 3, 2, 1. Relax all the muscles as you exhale, moving a little deeper. And again, deep breath in. Hold the breath, gently press your foot into your hand, gently curl the toes. This is going to activate the muscles under the arch and the calf muscles as well. For 3, 2, 1. Exhale, relax, and feel it stretch even further. One of the most effective treatments for the feet and plantar fasciitis is foot reflexology, or good therapeutic body work. As a chiropractor, I can assure you that having your feet, ankles, hips, knees, and even all the tarsal bones adjusted and free of fixations is very key for keeping the range of motion in your bones and joints. Now, one of the most effective therapies that I have found simply comes from using a ball under the arch of your foot. Now, this is a lacrosse ball. Different ones will do, but I found that lacrosse balls were kind of the perfect density, and using it under the arch of the foot is very effective. Now, when using the lacrosse ball to work the bottoms of your feet, this is very effective after a workout or after soaking in a hot foot bath. Roll the ball from the toes to the heel, back and forth across the entire bottom of the foot, and find those tender spots. Now, once you do, hold on the tender spots for about 8 to 10 seconds. You can even add a little bit of vibration. You want to get good pressure in there, but not too much that it causes pain. Now, you can breathe into it, let the area relax, and repeat that about 3 to 5 times, working each of the tender areas that you feel in the bottom of the foot, adding a little bit of vibration, using your breath until the area begins to relax and subside. And through the combination of evening hot foot soaks, then stretching, and then adding massage with your hands, as well as using a ball under the arch of the foot before you go to sleep at night, will give you an indication of the progression and how you're doing with how you feel right when you wake up first thing in the morning. So thank you very much for joining me in this video. Please let me know in the comments below what are some of your favorite natural treatments for plantar fasciitis, as well as liking and subscribing to this channel. Appreciate you tuning in. Thank you very much. May the health be with you.